Hello and welcome to my new video. In this video I will be comparing two third-party Bluetooth transmitters for the Freestyle Libre. Now I'll be comparing them in 6 key categories. I'm going to tell you pros and cons of each one, and then at the end I'm going to tell you which one I think is the best. Now I've got a lot of information to give you in this video, so let's get straight into it. Now before I start with the actual comparison, I want to make it absolutely clear that I have paid for Blucon Nightrider myself. However, I have received MiaoMaio transmitter for free from the company as a review unit to do my video review, and this was in exchange for my honest opinion and to do a video review for you guys. But I just want to make it absolutely clear that I have received MiaoMaio for free. Also, a bit of background knowledge: I have been using the Blucon Nightrider for a total of 9 months, and I have been using MiaoMaio for just over 2 months as of when I'm filming this video. That's done and over, let's start with the actual comparison. So the first thing I want to talk about is the design, and the design is a big differentiator between those two products. So the Blucon Nightrider is positioned directly on the top of the Freestyle Libre glucose sensor, and the big benefit of that is that it ensures that all of your glucose readings from your Freestyle Libre sensor are captured correctly every single time. Now, a big con of that design is that it's huge. I mean massive. I was very surprised at the beginning of how big the whole CGM pack was. I got used to it after, a couple of weeks, and it was just one of those things that, I've accepted, and I was like, yeah, that's my CGM, it's fine. But it is really, really large. On the other hand, also, from now on I'm going to be calling M, because there's been a bit of a controversy in how you actually pronounce the name of that device in English, and I'm not actually sure how to actually pronounce it either, so I'm just going to call it M. So M is positioned next to the Freestyle Libre sensor instead of on top of it, which makes the device much smaller. Only a tiny part of the device, only the NFC antenna, is positioned on the top of the Freestyle Libre sensor, which makes the whole CGM combo much slimmer and much flatter. So it feels better when you wear it. Now, a con of that design is that you need to make sure you position it correctly, because if you don't, you will get loads of missed readings. Now, this is one of those moments in this video which I like to call I wish I knew this before. And one thing I wish I knew about M before using it is that you need to make sure there is no air bubbles between the transmitter and the sensor. If there is an air bubble, if there is a space between the MiaoMaio and the sensor, when you move throughout the, your arms are moving, etc., the sensor or the transmitter is likely to move, and then because of that movement you're likely to get missed readings alerts. And for the first 3 weeks I would get a couple, especially when I was active, when I was in the gym, I would get loads of those. And then I've been informed that you need to make sure there's no air bubbles. So when you apply the transmitter, make sure it touches the sensor. And since that application, I haven't received a single missed reading alert. So it's not designed for, it's just knowing that you need to make sure there's no air bubbles. So if you don't know this, make sure there's no air bubbles. That's likely to solve 99% of your problems. Second thing I would like to talk about is battery life. Now, I've been using Blucon for 9 months, and I can only speak from my personal experience about how long battery lasted, etc. And from my personal experience, it lasted anywhere between 1 and 2.5 weeks. Now, I should say that even at the end of the 2.5 week period, I would still have a little bit of battery juice left in the battery, but I would just experience so many different connection drops, so many issues. I would change the battery to resolve that. Now, one thing, I don't think I've ever talked about this, that I found with Blucon is that I felt like my battery indicator was lying to me a lot. At some point I thought I was going crazy. I've had it checked with my dad. I've checked the battery status and the battery indicator on the Link Blucon app, and it said that my battery in the Nightrider had like 100% juice, it was full. And then I asked him to check it. He has this thing where he like puts like he has to cut it, I don't know. He can check the current or something, I don't know. And he checked it and he estimated based on the current that it was only about 10 or 15% the actual juice left in the battery. So obviously, I mean, that's not scientific and he's not a scientist. It just would indicate incorrectly. So I couldn't really plan ahead thinking, okay, I can apply the transmitter now and knowing that the battery will last for the next week or something like that. I couldn't really plan ahead like that. Now, in terms of from my personal experience, battery lasts 3 weeks, and that's pretty much consistent every single time. And by the way, when I say 3 weeks, I'm using my transmitters full time, so all day, all night, just should be clear. So, and the battery indicator actually shows the real value of the battery, which is nice. And so that's that. Also, I should say that Blucon Nightrider uses a battery, actual physical battery, and the M uses a magnetic charger, which from my personal you know, environmental ethics and point of view, there's a big positive to M, because I would rather use the, you know, the renewable energy, etc., to charge my MiaoMaio than the battery, because I am trying to reduce the number of batteries that we use. So that's a big positive to M. Third thing I would like to talk about is the attachment methods. And in terms of Blucon, I've been experimenting with loads of different methods. I mean loads. 3D printed holders, double-sided tape, glue, like actual hot glue, loads of different ways, successful and tragical. And the one that I've been using for the longest period of time was the double-sided tape, which for me was a great attachment method because it was very, very small, and the double-sided tape that I got was very like small, and the it wasn't too wide, so it was very nice holding the transmitter on the top of the Libre. I can put a link in the description if you want. Now, the issue with the double-sided tape for me was that I actually needed someone to hold the Freestyle Libre sensor when disattaching it. Now, I wish I knew this before getting a moment in this video. It required a lot of maintenance. Sometimes I would be like, do I really want to go swimming? Because it would be an effort just removing it and putting it on, because it would require someone to help you. So, that in terms of MiaoMaio, I've also experimented with loads of different ways, including wig glue, which was a success and then a failure. And now, as you probably saw on my third video about the closed loop, I'm using the just a normal adhesive, and that's working really, really well for me. And it's very easy to remove it, very easy to attach it. Sometimes I use two, sometimes I have those smaller ones, and they only like this big. And sometimes I have two. I have one for sensor and one for this, and sometimes I just have one for that. This is a brand new sensor, so I'm just having one for now, and that method is working really, really well. I've also tried a 3D printed holder, which works very nice. I can put a description in as well. And now the device comes with stickers, and I personally haven't received those stickers. Eye roll. But initially they were not part of the box, but then so many people asked the company to include them in the box, and now they come in the box. You know, stickers. They're very nice, and apparently, I mean, I haven't used them personally, but apparently they are really, really good. And you can also buy extra ones on their website. Fourth thing I would like to talk about is Bluetooth reliability. And now that's a big thing, and a lot of people have been asking me about it. And I was writing a script for this video, and for Blucon Bluetooth reliability, I just wrote, terrible with their app, a bit better with Spike and Xtrip iOS, because apps are amazing, but even they couldn't help. I've experienced disconnections and errors. And that sort of sums up my Bluetooth reliability report about Blucon. I mean, it was okay. Sometimes I was really annoyed with it, but it wasn't tragically terrible. Thereafter, it was horrible, but as soon as I moved to extra iOS, it got much better. And then when Spy came along, it was even more better. It was the best. But I would still experience some connection drops, and I would still experience, you know, Bluetooth. I would need to turn the Bluetooth off, turn Bluetooth on, reset the transmitter, etc. Now, the good thing about the actual, I don't have it. The good thing about the transmitter is that actually the reset button was on the top, so I could ask someone, hey, could you reset my transmitter? And they would need to come round with this like pin or a small thing and just, you know, reset it. But it wasn't the best. In terms of Bluetooth reliability has been incredible, really good. Now, I have used the official software for the first 3 or 3.5 weeks, and then I've started using it with Spike once Spike got integration, and it was incredible. I mean, fantastic on the actual software, and then really good, also very good on the Spike. So in terms of Bluetooth reliability, is much better than Blucon. Now, the next thing I would like to talk about is waterproof capabilities. So is fully waterproof, and it has IP27 certificate, which means that it is the same certificate as a Freestyle Libre sensor, so you can wear them both and swim for 30 minutes in 1 meter deep water. And so I've been swimming with it, I've been in the sauna with it, I've been in the steam room with it. So with so it is fully waterproof. And now that will be an advantage to over Blucon. But just recently, about 2 months ago, Ambrosia released a waterproof version of the Nightrider, which works just like the normal Nightrider with the batteries, etc. It's just that it's waterproof. Now, when I was doing research for this video, I was searching for information about what is the actual waterproof standard of that new device, and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if it's waterproof, if it's water resistant, and there is a difference. If it's splash proof, there's loads of different things. So I can't say if you can swim with it, if you can't. Now, I have seen Ambrosia paid advertisement on my Instagram with this woman that's like swimming in the pool with her Apple Watch, and she's just like, yeah, I'm using the waterproof Nightrider. So I think that's sort of a marketing suggestion that it is, but I haven't seen any documentation, solid facts saying that it is, so I don't know. And I've seen people talk about it on social media, but I don't think I know a single individual who actually got this yet, so I don't know if they've been shipping it. So I think it's a tie in terms of waterproofness of those two devices for now. Last thing I want to talk about is the small things. And now, those small things really matter, because they may be not like major features or like major things that we need to discuss, but when you wear a product 24/7 all the time and you rely on it to give you, alarms, etc., small things are really important. So here we go. Let's start with Blucon. One small thing that is really important, I'm in range, is that the battery cap wears out so quickly. I mean, it is ridiculous. So when you change your battery, you need to twist your battery cap clockwise or anti-clockwise in order to open or close it. And after a couple of, maybe after like a month or maybe after 2 months of using it, my battery cap would wear out. I mean, the plastic that you meant to put your coin in to twist it, it would just disintegrate, and there was physically no way to open or close it. So what I had to do is, my dad had to drill, like, by the way, I feel like my dad is featuring a lot in this video. So he had to drill like 2 holes on the edges of the battery holder thing, and then in order to open it I had to twist it with 2 pins like that, you know, like a old Greek, you know, opening thing. I mean, it was really, really bad. And now I have addressed this, and I have spoken to Ambrosia about it, to the company, and I think they have sent me one replacement cap, the replacement top bit, and they have been sending another plastic replacement battery holders to other people, which is nice, but that's not really a solution to that problem. The real solution would be to use a different plastic, at least for the battery holder, to make like a stronger plastic, or maybe even like a different material, to make sure it's sustainable and you don't need to do things like drilling holes in that thing. And also, do you know how disgusting, like, terrible it looked? What I had to do, because of those 2 holes, there were like 2 huge holes in my Nightrider. I bought like stickers on Amazon, like white basic stickers, and I would just stick them on because it would look so ugly. I just needed to do that to keep some sort of aesthetic. One small thing about M is that the reset button is actually on the back of the device. So right now, if I want to reset it, I would need to drill through my arm, and in order to get, do you get what I mean? It's on the other side of the device. It's not here with the chargers. And now, like I've said, I've been using the device for just over 2 months, and I've only had to do it once. I've only had to do a hard reset of it once, and I think if I allowed it to fully charge, I think I actually would be able to do it without doing the hard reset, but I've just done that. So in order to do that, we need to take it off, like remove it, and then do a hard reset and then put it back on. Which, I mean, it's a small thing. I mean, the device is really, really good. Like, I can't stress that enough. So you're probably not likely to use it a lot, but it would be nice to have it on the front. Now, on the other hand, I sort of do kind of understand why they would put it on the back, because probably it was something to do with the waterproof feature. Because if you want to have a fully waterproof, maybe having it on the back ensures that it's actually waterproof. Maybe it was something to do with that, but if it wasn't, and if you're watching this, I'm sure you are, maybe consider putting it on the front in the future, or maybe on the side or something, just so maybe it's a little bit easier next time. Just something from me. Also, if you are wondering what's like all of this, it's a story, and it's a sad one, so I'm not going there. Now, so that I've talked about all the differences and all of the pros and cons of each device, I'm going to give you, well, my conclusion, and I'm just going to tell you which one I think is better in my opinion. Now, I've done a bit of a background and research into my financial transactions and things when I was doing research for this video, and now, I've been a very strong believer in Blucon and Ambrosia as a company from the beginning, and I've pre-ordered a Nightrider device on the 2nd day of pre-orders, and that was on the 10th of February 2017. And now at this point, I haven't even seen a real picture of the device. The first time I've seen a real picture of the device was 2 months after that. For the first 2 months, I would just see, you know, their website and the 3D animated pictures of the Nightrider, you know, what it's supposed to look like. And people would be saying things like, oh, it's a scam, you know, it's not a real company, you've just wasted, what, $150 or whatever it was. And I've been a strong believer, and, you know, I pre-ordered it, and I was believing that it will be real, and then I saw a picture, I was like, oh, it's real, and then they said it would ship in April, and then April came, and they sent us an email saying they will ship next month, and then the next month, and then finally I got my device in on the 20th of June. I checked my parcel code, and it was on the 20th of June, and I think I was one of the very first people to get it. because I've pre-ordered it at the very beginning, and it was real. So I've been a really strong believer in that company, and now I believe in the product, not so much in the company. Now the product is okay, and it does what I wanted to do, which is, you know, turn my Freestyle Libre sensor into a real life continuous glucose monitor, which is fine. And I've been a strong believer in the product, not in the company. Now, there's been a lot of rumours from the very beginning saying that Ambrosia as a company, you know, as one of their marketing strategists, that they create loads of fake profiles on social media and, you know, commented under like different posts and things saying this product is good and that was unethical. Now, still up until today, I still don't believe that it was them. However, very recently they've been doing some ridiculous like policy changes that I 100% do not agree with, and things like changing the warranty period. Before, their product warranty was something like 1 year or something like 2 years, and now they change it to 1 month. I mean, what sort of company has 1 month warranty period? And things like dealing with customer service. I've heard from loads of people speaking to me saying like I've asked them for help and they wouldn't reply to me, they wouldn't reply to my emails. And so I think that's really unacceptable, and want to make that absolutely clear. Believe in product, not in the company. And so that's about Blucon. In terms of M, love the product and love the company. Love the product, and now in terms of overall opinion, I do prefer M for a number of reasons. First of all, it's slimmer, it's lighter, it just like feels better on your body. Even though it's larger, it just feels better. It's fully waterproof, and I just personally prefer that. Now that's just my own opinion. And also the company seems to be like much more 21st century looking, and they listen to us. So I love the fact that they've sent a free product before the actual launch. They've sent it to people like me, but they've also sent it to people like Spike developers and Xtrip developers, so they can get their hands on the product before, you know, we do, so they can integrate it into the community apps like Xtrip for iOS, Night Scout, Spike, etc. I love that. The fact that some people were saying that they should include stickers to stick it to make sure there's no air bubbles, and now they do. Those stickers that solve the issue of the air bubble that I've discussed before, now they come in the box because they listen to us. So that those kind of small things that actually make a big difference in, I feel like, in our community. So in summary, I prefer M, and I use M every single day, and I'm using it to get my CGM data to loop. So I just know that it's reliable enough to use it as my CGM source. And so that's just my own opinion. We all are entitled to an opinion, and I'm really scared to say it, but I won't hear your opinion in the description. So let me know what you think. I personally prefer M. I think it's much better. You might disagree, but that's what I think, and my Bluetooth glucose is very good. And so that's my video, my comparison video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it and you appreciate all the research that went into this video, please press the like button. And I know it's been a long overdue video, but I've had exams and all sorts of things. If you want to know what's happening with me in my life, watch my life updates video. And if you're not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. I've got a very new series coming up called Cool Diabetes Apps CDA, with cool diabetes apps they might be interested in. Things like 3D diabetes simulator for non-diabetics, that's a spoiler, and all sorts of things. And I'm working on a couple of mini documentaries as well. And so please subscribe if you are interested, and that's all from me. Have a good day. Bye bye.